Hello and welcome back to Dukascopy TV. Jobs data coming out of the UK today didn't show any signs of encouragement in an economy that's struggling to find its feet. In fact, employment this quarter has been down, whilst unemployment has notched up. But Felicity Burch, an economist at EEF in London, is more optimistic than this, and she joins me now. Felicity, you've been following today's UK data. Why should we be feeling more upbeat about these recent claimant figures?
Well, I think we've seen quite a lot of stability in the labour market sort of since the end of last year. We have seen employment edge down a little this quarter and unemployment edge up a little. But actually, if you compare that with where we were a year ago, those are both a bit stronger. And given that we've had quite a lot of economic weakness, both in the UK and, as you say, in key markets in Europe, it's actually not that bad a picture. And when you compare it with the unemployment rate in Europe as a whole, that's more like 12.4%. So we're doing a lot better than that.
In light of this, then, will we start to see market confidence and optimism in the UK improve in the near to mid-term, or will the general consensus that the United Kingdom has a weak economy and poor growth outlook continue to take precedence?
I think there are some signs of optimism. I mean, looking at manufacturing in particular, we've seen some signs of manufacturing output rose in March, and the PMI, which is a good sort of forward indicator of where things are going, it's ticked up. It's still at a level associated with contraction, but it's looking a lot stronger, and we're seeing actually export orders are starting to rise again. So I think there are some positive signs coming through.
So some positive signs, but also some negative ones that still far outweigh the positives.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the sector does have a lot of challenges, not least the weakness in Europe, which is hurting export demand quite considerably. But I think we have to look at a broader picture of lots of opportunities in emerging economies. And in fact, since the recession began, we've seen exports outside of the EU increase by nearly 50%. So there are opportunities out there.
I just want to look at pay growth briefly in the UK. It's been at its lowest point for quite some time now, in fact for at least 4 years. What's your outlook on pay growth moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So pay growth in the UK economy is, as you say, it's at its lowest level since May 2009, at just 0.4% for total pay across the economy. And even looking at manufacturing, where it's been a bit stronger, pay growth is still only 2.1%. And that's quite a long way below inflation, which came in at 2.8%. And that's really going to be squeezing consumers, as we've seen for quite a long time. And consumption accounts for a very significant proportion of the UK economy, and the longer consumers are squeezed, the longer it's going to be until we see consumption really start to gain strength again, I think.
Finally, we've just got enough time to touch quickly on inflation in the UK. Mervyn King delivered his last quarterly inflation report today. Are you feeling as positive on inflation projections as you are on jobs?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, inflation's at 2.8%. It's a bit above target, and I suspect it's likely to continue to drift above target for a while, especially given the recent change in remit for the Bank of England, but also things like the weaker than expected pound, an unexpectedly large increase in petrol prices that we've seen since the start of the year. But I suspect over time it will start to come down again.
Okay, thank you for joining me today, Felicity Burch. That's all for now from me, but keep an eye online for the latest updates and exclusive interviews from the TV team. But for now, goodbye.